Okay, perfect. Yeah, and you're totally right about the tip about the glass and stuff. I didn't got that before in accounts, but yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So today I will start with Aaron's work since he posted a little earlier and I missed it. So, so Aaron, I think your current update is a really nice update compared to the previous version. All those shader updates really helped, and this glint on the dome really definitely brought our eyes to this dome right here. Can't really look anywhere else but here. So I think overall we definitely got the center of the attention working, and the balancing of the saturation is working a lot better. Um, I think looking at the references on what you were trying to achieve, I think there's still a few things that we can try. So I did some slap comp in your current frame, and it looks, in my opinion, I think I adjust a lot of things to make it look not exactly the same as your reference, but I think it could work and still have some similar mood. So the first thing I did was I lifted a lot of the darks in the shadow, especially in the foreground. And we can see that in your references, we do have some very dark darks. However, they kind of very limited. They limited to on the edges of the frame and only in small chunks. So we still see a lot of detail of the specular on the leaves and the skylight in the foreground, even though the overall feels dark. So I think that's something that we can try adding in a little bit more in the foreground, especially in this frame. The foreground takes about roughly about half of this frame. So it is kind of important for us to make sure that we don't lose a lot of the details. So we look at this, we can still see what's happening in the half of the frame. Because this is a slab comic, I definitely kind of overdid some of this stuff because I wasn't rotoring out the details. But I think we can definitely try to get some of the speck on the rocks and the leaves as possible, and have these cattails, I'm guessing, having had a little more details. These are now kind of dark. Um, I just didn't roto them out to make to lift into the proper brightness, but we can still have some of the really dark darks, like over here in the shadow of the rock area, maybe in some creases over here of this geo that currently is kind of flat, and still has some nice darks in between the grass and the foreground. The point is, since the foreground is so big in this shot, we want to make sure it's interesting enough when we're looking at the frame. I also lifted some of the shadows in the background as well. I think overall we have a really nice skylight that's filling in the shadows on these cliffs and these area. This could be fog, but right now because the color is really similar to the sky, it kind of does the job of filling in the skylight for us. However, it could be the fog region that we're not seeing similar effects over here. If it's a skylight, it will probably affecting all the shadow area that creates an even ambient level. So I also lifted some of the darker area in the shadows over here. Oh, again, this is a little bit overkill because I'm doing a slap comp. Some of the dark should probably stay really dark in these corners, like in the inside the windows. But overall, hopefully gets the point across of we can have a little bit more saturation in the color from the sky. And then I further refined some of the brightest area in this shot, just so the value structure, I wanted to make sure that we are looking in this area, this building right here. And right now there's still some area like this cliff and these foliage over here. They're all still relatively bright. So I kind of just slapped the roto in, slightly darkened them a little bit. Not enough that draws attention, but hopefully subconsciously we can start to see that these areas are the brightest thing in the shot. And I know you already did some like huge modification and improvement on these foliage shaders. I think some, and right now I still see some of the foliage working better than the others. It could be still emissive on some of these, particularly this type, whatever this kind of over here, and these. And these, they're not necessarily incorrect in value. They still feel a little bit glowy. Partially could be because they're missing the speck. So what gives these kind of flowers really nice shaping are these kind of specular highlights that's on the leaves. Even when they're far away and tiny in pixels, our eyes still kind of pick up the overall shaping provided by those specular. And some of the foliage, unfortunately, are kind of missing that. So I wonder if it's possible we can add some of it back so it can help not making the whole vegetation feeling flat and kind of taking the attention away when there's like a strong geometric flat shape. And last but not the least, considering this is a fairly bright daytime shot, I just slightly up the exposure of the sky. Let's see. Just a little bit. I know that's not exactly what you have in your reference, but in your reference, that's we also have a lot of fog that we are not currently using in your shot. So fog is not going to be as bright as a bright sunny day sky, and also there's a lot of mountains in the background. So I'm not actually sure if this area is actually the sky or the mountain. So I think for your shot, we can possibly expose the sky up a little bit more to really bring out the sunny feeling. I think overall I also tweak the exposure a little bit just so to go back to a little bit of what you had before, that kind of more sunny feeling. But yeah, I think overall you did a huge improvement, and I really love this where this is going. So yeah, it's very exciting. And then for Abishek, who's not here today. So Abishek, I see you made a huge update as well, changing the sky and a lot of the overall value structure, which I think is working really well. When we lift the sky, it kind of really brings a more magical feeling. When the sky is more saturated, and in this case, it also helps with the silhouette of the characters. And so I think we're getting pretty close to calling this like a really nice refined shot. So I'm giving a little bit more notes today, but they're all relatively small. So please let me know if you have any question on these. So
Yeah, Ruby, actually, I have a question
mm-hmm.
regarding that water reflection that you were asking me.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Uh,
What was the question
I
again?
was regarding the reflection that you were telling me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I tried actually to change the mesh over, but it's looking very weird, so I didn't change it after that.
Mm-hmm.
I just back to that regular one that we had.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an issue. Plus, I'm trying to get the horizon line. Any idea how to get the horizon line high? Actually, horizon line is not looking very good. I don't know how to manage that.
Mm-hmm. Are you saying about this black line right here, or just overall you don't feel
Y-
like it's sitting together?
Yeah,
The black
yeah.
line.
It's. Should I just move down my background plate, or should I just uh, do something else?
Um,
I'm confused with that actually.
yeah, I think there are a few things we can try. So I'm gonna go over my suggestions today, and then maybe we can figure out if any of these help. If not, let's figure something out.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah,
And what do you think about inside the hat
inside the
part?
hat. This inside the
It's
boat
no inside the hat.
hat. Mm-hmm.
The yeah. Should I move little bit up for the lighting?
Yeah, actually, I was gonna give a note today about it would be nice to have some separation between the hat and and the hair, just so we can read it a little better. Just very subtle, but I think that will help.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I can do that.
so I
Could
also.
you say
Mm-hmm.
could you share me the uh, image for this reference,
Yeah, of
if
course.
possible?
Yeah, of course. I'll send it to you on the channel. So
Yeah, that will be much better.
so the things I did are let's see. So the things I did are first is refining the shaping of the characters a little bit more. I think overall we have done great success on shaping the boy's face and the mermaid's face. They're looking in general a lot really appealing. So what I'm focusing on just the smaller details, which in this case are these kind of strong specular that's on the boy's mouth and also the specular that's on her cheek. It happens because sometimes we're cheating the lighting and the skin, the specular just gets picked up how it should be. So if we have to, we can totally cheat in the comb, just soften it a little bit. So we still had the feeling the light is hitting them, but not as outstanding that strong, sharp specular feeling. And I can probably,
Okay.
yeah, probably do the same on the arm as well, just so that he doesn't feel like he's being like greased up in oil. But these are all the arm because the arm is not drawing as much attention as their faces, so I didn't have enough time to also do the same kind of polish on the arm. And secondly is also the memory right now is sitting really well against the brighter sky, but I think we can possibly align the key light shaping on her head, on the hair, and the hat. So I just like did a comb quickly fake what a rim light coming from this key will look like, since it seems like the rock and the board are all being hit by this light, but somehow I'm not seeing similar light on her. I think it will be helpful if we can get this kind of light also on this side of her hair. That will also help bring this side of her head more shaping. So I think one last thing about the shaping is um, I slightly darkened this shadow side of this boy's face, which should possibly be done in lighting, probably just reduce the fill light on his face a little bit. Because originally right now it's the value of the key side and shadow side are getting very similar. I can see a very soft transition, which is very nice, but when they're so similar, we kind of lose that kind of three-dimensional roundness of his face. So I slightly darkened the shadow side a little bit. And let's see what else I do. So on the boat itself, I also lift this on the dark, just so that it doesn't draw as much attention, because our eyes will get drawn to some of this contrasty area, and the boat has a lot of dark black. So I lift this on the bottom, pretending that it's being lit by the glow a little bit. Probably should also lift this little dark area as well, but I didn't get around to do that, just so it helps out this really dark area doesn't take our attention away. And I also mentioned the hat and the hair earlier. So I think right now the characters I think are in very good shape. Like you said, we can probably spend some time trying to figure out how to integrate the background, especially the water and the sky together. So something I was just playing around and trying, I'm not sure if this is where you want to go, is I added more like a gradient of the water surface from the foreground to background. So I slightly darkened the foreground a little bit. We could possibly go a little bit more. Right now, just with my slap comb, I only darkened it just very subtly, so you have a little bit of variation from closer to the camera to the back. And same thing with
So
the sky. Mm-hmm.
just like a ramp that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Ideally, this is in real life. This is probably achieved with fog. A fog will probably start somewhere behind them, and that will one kind of have a kind of like misty feeling across all of the rocks and the sky a little bit, and also make the color over here a little bit brighter. If I can see, oh, this is not a good image to look at. I was looking at this reference, Luca, so I was seeing how this in the foreground is a little bit darker, and somewhere you can see that the fog is kicking in, so the background island gets a little bit has a little bit hazy feeling. So does the sky, and I think this is something we can possibly try as well. Having a haze that's actually rendered ideally, from Blender or whatever 3D software you're using. That's kind of very subtly covering the area that's behind them.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I also did a similar gradient to the sky. So the horizon is a little bit brighter, but the top of the sky gets a little darker. I think we can probably go a little more drastic to darken the top of it. Like we can see the gradient is actually quite drastic. And it does help, like, because if we look at the Sun Valley structure, it helps because it has dark, bright, dark. So it helps bring our
Okay.
attention to the center. And I think, let's see. And one very small thing, I'm sorry if I mentioned this late, because previously, I guess in the darker one, it wasn't as obvious. But now when we brighten the sky, I see like this negative shade that creates a very unfortunate tangent between the boy's hat and the rocks over here. Because this negative shade is very unique and very distinct, I'm wondering if it's possible for us to move the rock a little bit to the screen right, so it doesn't just have like this tiny little overlap, this tangent right here.
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
Yeah. Um, so I think what we can try is definitely try to have some fog that will help integrate this rock and, like you said, the horizon and the sky blend in a little bit better. And if we can, there are many ways that we can explore the night sky because there are many different type of look. Um,
Okay.
we can try looking at some of the films that you think could be helpful. Just looking at, let's see, yeah, we can just start with animation. We can find other nighttime shot from Moana or any other nighttime shot. Let's say finding Dory, that anything that has ocean and sky or just large body of water. And let's look. We can all look at how they're approaching that skyline between the water
Okay.
and sky. And you can pick one that you think that you like and or will work with this shot, and we can try to approach that look.
Okay.
Yeah, because right now I'm
Uh,
using
yeah,
this more like a reference, but I'm not sure if this is exactly you're trying to do.
yeah,
And
it's mostly similar like that only actually.
yeah, that's good to know.
I think that that image is from Lucas, right?
This one, Luca.
Like, yeah, I have that also.
Cool. And as far as this black line you're talking about, I think this is a matte line issue. So, um, I don't know if you have taken the compositing class here yet. This is very common. That so when you print out a pass, you have to pre-multiply, which is this node. I'm not sure what compositing software you're using, but this is almost crucial if you're breaking out passes. You have to first multiply the alpha and then do the color correction and then you do the
Yeah,
pre-mult.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will add that. I forgot to add the unprimmelt and primmelt in the
Yeah.
actually yeah, this was the last thing I did actually, but I forgot to upload that image actually.
No worry. Oh, we still forget. Even as
Yeah,
professional, we still forget all the time until we look at a review. Someone will be like, "You have a mad line." It's like, God damn
yeah.
it.
Actually, I was working with the fog thing. That's why I did. After that, I remember. Oh shit! I just forgot to add the latest output with the primelt and unprimelt. So now
Yeah, it
it's
happens.
okay, but I
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah, no worries. It happens.
And
So,
I also added that grade ramp actually on the
mm-hmm.
C actually.
On the C. Okay.
Uh, yeah, true. But I did actually opposite that you said.
You did a front brighter and back darker.
Yeah.
That can work too. Yeah, we just have to find like a look that we
Ye-
want, like a definite. Whether you
Yeah.
want the surface definitely to be brighter here, then we work backward to fix the sky to match the water, or we want the sky to look a certain way, and then we work the water to work with the
Yeah.
sky.
Actually, actually, I was trying to get brighter part on the back actually, because the horizon is very bright. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm still figuring out how to do that. I didn't had get any better luck with that thing,
Oh.
but I
Mm.
think I uh, you just gave me some ideas
Mm-hmm.
just now, so I think that will work out, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, we can definitely try it out and see if this sky doesn't work, we'll find another sky. Hopefully, there's enough
No,
sky on the internet.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think
Okay,
that's all the notes I have for today because I think overall this is really coming together nicely. So, yeah,
okay. Thank you.
of course. And I think that's it for today. I'm seeing. Yeah, and I'm really sorry about last time. I didn't realize the OBS wasn't recording my audio. So if I hope I didn't miss anybody who was not there. But yeah. Anyways, does Neil have questions in general? No? All good? Everybody had a good week? Well, that's great. Then I'll probably,
All good. Thank you.
yeah, I'll probably wrap up here and I will do this, yeah, on Monday. Yeah, I'll put, yeah, and
Perfect.
yeah, Monday probably same time, 7:30 at night. So, for me. All right, then hope you all have a good night. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, you too.
All right,
Yeah, happy weekend, everyone.
thank
Bye
you.
bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.
Bye.